Whether they will fully admit it or not, WWE does see AEW as legit competition, and I will go as far as to say they are afraid of them in 2025. I'll go over those reasons why I feel that way, plus we'll do some Collision recap. All of that here on Screw the Script. Welcome back, everybody, to Screw the Script. I'm your host, Maverick. There's been a lot of stuff going around in the pro wrestling world this past week, and I'm going to cover the juiciest, most intriguing parts of what's going on in the universe that is pro wrestling when it comes to WWE and AEW. But first, let's recap Collision. Here's the card that was listed up there. I believe there was something else that also happened on the night, but I'm just going to quick glance through it. It was a really solid episode of Collision. One of the better cards of 2025 for them. We saw great tag matches, starting with Jet Speed versus Jon Moxley and Wheeler Yuta. It was an incredible 20-minute tag team bout. Unfortunately, seeing Jet Speed lose only due to cheating by Moxley and Wheeler Yuta, which was as expected considering they are still a heel faction in the Death Riders. But nonetheless, it was a really good showing for Jet Speed. I absolutely love Kevin Knight, Speedball Mike Bailey. They're both two amazing additions to AEW in 2025. And they're being pushed really well, considering they just formed their tag team together. Yes, they lost yesterday. It was a moral victory sort of loss. Like, they lost only due to cheating, and yet their momentum is still climbing. The tag team division in AEW has gotten so much better again, which I've stated in past videos. And I believe it happened later on tonight, it happened later on Collision, I'll get to in a moment, but I believe there are plans for a women's tag team title reveal, maybe at All Out. We'll get to that in a moment. Really good match. Moxley and Wheeler Yuta pick up the victory. Jon Moxley and Speedball Mike Bailey are such a good combo together in the ring. For one very good reason. Both times now that we have seen Moxley hit Speedball Mike Bailey with his paradigm shift, incredible selling by Mike Bailey. They look so gruesome. He's got the selling, the selling techniques of the likes of RVD, of Dolph Ziggler, who I think was always underutilized in WWE, and guys like that. He is phenomenal at selling moves. We also had Juice Robinson versus Brian Keith. I'm a little concerned because at the end of the match, Juice Robinson needed help to get out of the ring and up the ramp after he had won against Brian Keith. They're trying so hard to keep the Bang Bang Gang alive, and I feel for them, and I truly like them. They have just been riddled with injuries, just awful luck with injuries. Left and right. I mean, Jay White is hurt yet again. Colton Gunn got hurt in a blink of an eye right after the Guns returned after months of being gone. And now it looks like Juice Robinson could be hurt again. I mean, I saw that Austin Gunn asked if he was okay, and he said he was all right in front of the camera, but I don't know. I really don't know. Maybe he was just really good at selling it. Hope for the best for Juice Robinson, especially after he picked up that victory. Then we saw Ace Austin debut for AEW, and it was official. He is officially All Elite. There's the graphic. Collision was taped. I unfortunately couldn't stay away from said, leak. I was still happy nonetheless to see him. And man, oh man, is he a great addition to AEW. One of the best young stars from TNA in some time. The dude has legs like tree trunks. They are insane. He is I'm pretty sure he partakes in powerlifting outside of pro wrestling because you don't get legs that sculpted without powerlifting. Very athletic young kid. He's only 28 years old. The sky's the limit with him. He's the same age as Kevin Knight. He is just entering the prime of his years in wrestling. I can't wait to see the things that Ace Austin does in AEW. We did see Ricochet pick up the win, also by cheating. So it doesn't hurt Ace Austin that he lost his first match because he really took Ricochet to the limit. And Ricochet, I've expressed once or maybe twice on my channel, I'll say it a third time, he is so damn good as a heel. He plays the cocky, arrogant, piece of shit asshole. I could go on with the insult names. He plays that character so well. It's like it's second nature to him. He is so much more interesting and well utilized in AEW compared to when he was in WWE. They pushed and pushed and pushed him as a babyface, and it just never worked. And he didn't do anything after his run in NXT. We saw Toni Storm cut a vignette. That was really good. I love her vignettes, her promos in black and white that are done in these unique arenas. Hats off there. We saw Athena come out. They kind of took her out for a little bit. She talked trash. We're going to see a good match between those two at Forbidden Door later this month. We also saw Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick Strong versus Blake Christian and Lee Johnson. Also an incredible match. I really like Blake Christian. I think he's going to be one of the best heels in AEW in another year or two. He's just got the perfect persona for it. He's got the look. He's got the skills. And yet again, another young guy who is under the age of 30. Then we saw the $100,000 winner of Chris Statlander in that four-way match between Julia Hart, Statlander, Penelope Ford, and Anna Jay. Also an incredible match. These ladies took it to the limit. The crowd was chanting, "This is awesome." Indeed it was. Chris Statlander comes out victorious. I thought Julia Hart was going to win now that they have a new faction with her and Tekla and Sky Blue. But nonetheless, Chris Statlander wins it. Curious to see where they go with these women because after that match, like I mentioned earlier, I was going to talk about this. It got chaotic. So many women came out, and you can see the clear separation in what looks to be formed tag teams amongst all of these women who aren't right now gunning for either the TBS or AEW Women's Championship. And I think at All Out, Tony Khan will release AEW Women's Tag Team Championships. Lastly, I want to talk about that incredible main event. The technical spectacle was really, really, really good. A unique change of pace for AEW matches. As we all know, AEW is very fast-paced, high-flying action for majority of the wrestlers. This slowed it down. It was a very technical match through and through. I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed the numerous spots of multiple people being held at once, and you're wondering, okay, who's going to tap amongst the two of them? Really well done. And even better well done was the finish to the match, because I don't know how many people probably had Nigel McGuinness winning this. I didn't. I love Nigel McGuinness. Great commentator. Had his career cut short because of his neck injury. Him coming back is phenomenal. I really thought this was going to be Danny Garcia all day long. I thought he was going to go on to face Zack Sabre Jr. Instead, we see Nigel McGuinness going back to, I believe, his home crowd. I'm sure, if I'm not mistaken, that is where he's from. He's going to get a great standing ovation when he has that match. I don't see him winning it because of this. Danny Garcia reluctantly got back in the ring after Nigel said, "You're going to go far, kid." I mean, this isn't verbatim, but he said, "You're going to go far, kid, but right now it's my time. I would like you in my corner." And that was a nice gesture by Nigel, but the way that Garcia reluctantly got in the ring and eventually did shake his hand, I see there's something up his sleeve. I feel like he's going to cost Nigel the match at Forbidden Door. Garcia's going to go back as a heel, which I truly think he's just better at being a heel than a face. And we are going to see a Nigel McGuinness and Danny Garcia feud that goes into All Out in September. That is my prediction. You heard it here first. I have not seen it anywhere on the internet yet. That is my prediction. Nigel McGuinness and Danny Garcia at All Out next month, with Garcia costing Nigel the match at Forbidden Door. Now to go on to some AEW news, and we'll get into some WWE news that's kind of tied into AEW news in a few minutes here. But I just wanted to to show up here on the screen all the great signings that AEW has had in 2025. I mean, look at that list. All of them are incredible. You got Megan Bayne, Mike Bailey, Kevin Knight, Josh Alexander, Mina, Tekla, Alex Winsler, and now the newest signing in Ace Austin. And guess what? You look at that list, every single one of them is being pushed properly. They are now doing a much better job. They have corrected a big wrong of theirs that was more and more apparent over the years, the early years of AEW, where they were just taking every single WWE wrestler that left the company, brought them in, and pushed them instead of their own homegrown talent. This is, I would say, homegrown talent for the most part. Josh Alexander, maybe not, because he's been around for a while. Ace Austin was in TNA for a long time, but he's still so young that if he stays in AEW for a long time, he will easily pass years spent here versus TNA. But you got, the rest of this list are guys that are all relatively young and weren't anywhere huge like AEW or WWE prior to this. So this is homegrown talent, and I love to see it. Next, we have a huge announcement. Takeshita wins the G1 Climax tournament. Huge accomplishment for him at such a young age. Takeshita, I've expressed how much I love him. Pretty much everyone in the Don Callis family in general. Kyle Fletcher, Takeshita. I absolutely love all of those guys. The sky's the limit for all of them. I think Don Callis is the best manager in pro wrestling right now. And yes, even over Paul Heyman, because right now, just to segue over to WWE for a moment, I really don't feel Seth Rollins' faction. I don't like it that much. I think the Don Callis family as a whole is a lot more entertaining right now in 2025 than what Paul Heyman is doing with Seth Rollins. The most interesting thing that has happened in that faction over there is Seth Rollins cashing in at SummerSlam against Punk, but that really isn't involved with Paul Heyman a whole lot. Whereas Don Callis has pushed so many young guys to be stars. I mean, Kyle Fletcher is a TNT champ right now, and you got Takeshita winning the G1 tournament. Awesome to see that. Now on to some WWE news that's actually related and involved with AEW. There's been reports that they are considering buying out TNA, and not only that, but moving it to Wednesday nights. Like, what a fucking obvious take from me here. The fact that we all see this so transparently that WWE does feel threatened by AEW. They see him as competition. And yes, they feel threatened. I am going to throw that word out. They would not be possibly buying TNA to counter program AEW and throw it on Wednesday nights. And to even push that even further logic, we saw a thing that went up on their website that was quickly taken down about a PLE in September that they're going to run the same night as All Out, potentially stated and brought back Over the Limit, which has been used in the past. They quickly took that down from their website. And there's also a report. Now, this is from Wrestling Observer, so take it with a grain of salt, but apparently Netflix released their live viewership of Raw. So normally what is being said, and again, I don't know how accurate this is, so this is just me, reporting this news from somebody else. Technically, Raw's viewership is counted for the whole week on Netflix before it's released, and they're averaging about 2.8 to 3 million views. But that's in a week stretch. Apparently, when it's just live viewership, this past Raw was 920,000 viewers. You compare that to AEW Dynamite last week, got well over 700,000, which means it only required 209,000 viewers on Max to exceed Raw. I'm pretty sure there are more than 200,000 people that watch it on Max. I watch it on Max every week. My friends watch it on Max every week. I know plenty of people who watch it on Max now and not traditional cable, but I have not watched an episode of Dynamite on traditional cable since the Max deal. I don't think that this is just all coincidence. The fact that they potentially beat Raw's viewership on Netflix with their show on HBO Max has got to be the reason why all these reports are coming out. There's no way else around it. If they're trying to buy out TNA and throw them on Wednesday nights to counter AEW's amazing year of 2025, if they are trying to buy TNA and put them on Wednesday nights to compete with AEW just to steal some of their thunder, that is so fucking obvious that they see them as a threat again. Much like 2019, when they tried to have them compete with NXT and they blew NXT out of the water, they lost that and they moved NXT. For a couple of years, AEW, they dropped in popularity. They had their issues. They have been fixing it left and right, and 2025 proves it. The fact that they are going to bring back Over the Limit potentially and quickly took it down off their website, they may have spoiled something. I'm not entirely sure if it's actually ever going to happen, but all of these reports that are coming out, and you see it every day now, they see AEW as a threat. WWE is afraid of AEW's potential, and that is a fact. They will never admit it. You will never see Triple H go up on a podium. You'll never see Nick Khan go up on a podium or anybody at TKO and say, yeah, they're a threat. We're going to counter-program them. They're never going to openly admit that. But doing things like this is basically doing that. It's basically admitting that you see them as a threat. That's all I had on this episode of Screw the Script. You let me know down below about your thoughts about Collision, your thoughts about Takeshita winning the G1, and how you feel about WWE lately trying to counter-program AEW. I see it as pretty desperate. I see them as, not focusing on what they should focus on, which is their weekly product, and their wrestling matches that happen at PLEs have all been pretty weak in 2025. Focus on that, Triple H. Focus on that, Nick Khan. Focus on that, TKO. Not all this other stuff, because it's not going to work, and it makes you come across as really petty, to be honest. I'm Maverick with Screw the Script. Thanks for watching.
No!